A very good evening to all of you. Hello and welcome, guys. Welcome to yet another episode of Weekly Law Scoop. My name is KP Singh, and today we are going to discuss all the major legal happenings of past 1 week. If the audio quality is okay and the video is visible, please write down yes in the chat box. Welcome Bharat. Yes, you are the first one. Welcome Vanchika Verma. Very good evening to you. Prachi, good evening. Welcome Satya. Welcome Aditya. AJ Bhatt, how are you dude? Prachi Singh, welcome. Aditya, thanks for the confirmation. Satya, Tom, Varuni, Chetra, Vaibhav. Chaliye, a very good evening to you, Vaibhav. Welcome Laksh, Riddhi, welcome Priya. So I think most of you are already here, so we are good to go. We are trying to keep this session short, so if you find the pace disturbing, please let me know in the chat box. Okay, so same pattern, though I have changed the presentation a bit based on your feedback. Let's move on, guys. My name is KP Singh. I'm Chief Mentor for Law with IMS Learning Resources. So you would notice that now, rather than on the right hand corner, I'm appearing on the left hand corner. So if you're using a mobile device and if you want to go full screen, the chat will appear above me and no text will get disturbed. Okay, let's move on. In the previous session, while conducting the quiz, one answer was incorrect. It was pointed out by Manas Rai. Thank you so much, Manas. He writes, sir, the session was fab. Just one correction. Ninth schedule was added by the first amendment of the constitution, and that is correct. Right to property became the bone of contention as soon as we gained our independence, because the very first laws which all the state governments wanted to enact were related to right to property, whether it be Zamindari abolition law or it be Mehalwadi and Rayatwadi abolition law, or you can even think about nationalization of various corporations and private entities, nationalization of banks. So it was all about money, it was all about property. Ninth schedule creates exception and protects certain legislation from the purview of judicial review. Let's move on. In order to select best quality, go on the settings, click on quality and pick the highest quality available. Okay, first topic for today is Amish Devgun hate speech case. This was requested by Vanchika Verma. So Vanchika, this is for you. The Supreme Court has refused to quash FIRs which were registered against journalist Amish Devgun for his remarks against Sufi Saint Moinuddin Chishti. A bench of Justice A.M. Kanwalkar and Sanjeev Khanna, however, clubbed all the FIRs, to be precise 7 FIRs, against Devgun and transferred those cases to Ajmer. Supreme Court observed that the issue whether the offence was made out against Devgun or not can only be determined after the trial is concluded or the trial is conducted. Okay, so what is this issue all about? Well, guys, Amish Devgun is a famous journalist and a TV news anchor. His popular show R Par, on one of the episodes which was aired on June 15th, in which he was discussing Place of Worship Special Provisions Act, he made a remark against Khwaja Moinuddin Chishti, also known as Khwaja Garib Nawaz, that he was an attacker and lutera. Many police complaints were filed against this guy across the length and breadth of a country. You know, Khwaja Garib Nawaz or Moinuddin Chishti is a revered Sufi saint from the Indian subcontinent. His followers are spread across the globe. That Sufi shrine is in Ajmer, therefore all these cases have been transferred to Ajmer now. Many cases were filed in Telangana, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Rajasthan, Gujarat, UP, Bihar and various parts of India. Well, Devgun had approached the Supreme Court through his advocate Vivek Jain. He wanted to quash all these FIRs. So he was trying to get all these FIRs removed. In these FIRs, many sections of IPC were invoked, were used against him. Inter alia, section 295A is mentioned. Section 295A talks about deliberate and malicious acts intended to outrage religious feelings of any class by insulting its religion or religious beliefs. So you can say spreading religious disharmony or hatred. Section 153A, we have already discussed section 153A in previous sessions. Promoting enmity between different groups or on grounds of religion, race, place of birth, residence, language, etc. So 153A is more general in nature. Okay, let me read some comments. Namaste Game Changer, welcome Riddhi, welcome James. Very good evening to you. Hi Rishi. Okay. What is difference between riot and affray? Affray is on small scale. Riot is on a bigger scale. Affray basically means hurdang, ladai jhagda. Let's say couple of friends started fighting among each other, or let's say two rival groups in a college started fighting with each other. That kind of physical altercation can be called an affray. What is arson? Arson means when you put things ablaze, agzani, aag lagana. Not provocation, literally putting things on fire. When a mob, or when you can say when a crowd does similar activities, affray and arson, it will be considered a riot. Let's go back to the topic. Yes. So Amish Devgun will have to face a trial in Ajmer for whatever he said. Though, by the way, he has already apologized. He has issued his apology that was also telecasted on his channel. Let's move on. Okay, another interesting news. Administrative and General Supervision Committee of the Delhi High Court has issued an official order in which they stated that even now, hybrid hearings shall be allowed. Now, what is hybrid hearing? Due to the lockdown, many courts went virtual. So, even counsels were arguing from the comfort of their home. Clients were also watching the live proceeding using the link which was being shared with them. And many instances like the one you see in picture came to forth. Look at this one. One advocate was unaware that his camera is on and he started enjoying his meal. So there is nothing wrong with that. But obviously it disturbs the court decorum or court protocol. Many of you might be having your dinner right now while watching this live. But that is not going to disturb the class decorum. Let's move on. So court has, this order states that advocates, parties and witnesses seeking adjournment, particularly on the account of health condition, old age, for taking care of other family members, shall be suitably accommodated. So if you are looking for adjournment based on these grounds, court will have to show sympathetic approach. Physical presence of the parties may not be insisted. तो जब तक जरूरी नहीं हो कोर्ट आपको जज आपको कोर्ट नहीं बुलाएगा unless it is unavoidable. Even lawyers have been recommended to advise their clients that they shall not visit the court unless their physical presence has been directed by the court. All of this is being done in order to avoid crowd at district courts or the local courts. Let's move on. Ram Vinit Kalra. Yes, Thunder, he is now on News 18. Great. Okay. Delhi Bar Council has recently passed a resolution in which they were urging the Chief Justice D.N. Patel to consider names of some judges which were superseded in the previous elevation. You might be aware that Supreme Court and High Court judges, that means judges of the High Court, are not promoted, rather elevated. So, where lies the difference? Promotion is only on the basis of seniority. So, in all government posts, people get promoted after every few years based on their seniority in service. But as far as higher judiciary is concerned, we follow the collegium system. This resolution stated that in fact district judges are appointed on the basis of seniority and unblemished record. That means their integrity, their contribution is in law making by providing wonderful interpretive judgments. The non-recommendation of these particular judges may bring dissatisfaction among the judges. So if the senior most guys are not getting elevated, and the junior ones are getting elevated, this will create some sort of dissatisfaction among the judiciary, isn't it? Just think, if your junior gets promoted and you don't, that will definitely cause some sense of jealousy. Okay. Well, so what is collegium system? Indian Constitution under Article 124 and Article 217 provides procedure. It lays down the process of elevation of judges. Collegium system is a system in which appointments and promotion as well as transfer of judges of the Supreme Court are decided by a forum which consists of the Chief Justice of India plus other 4 senior most judges of the Supreme Court. So it's a club of 5 guys who will sit in a closed chamber and deliberate on the names of lawyers and judges from the lower judiciary who shall be elevated. In case of Supreme Court, judges of the High Court who shall be elevated to the Supreme Court. Read Article 124. It says, this article of the Indian Constitution reads that the judges of the Supreme Court are appointed by the President after consultation with such a number of judges, right now practices of 4 judges, with such a number of judges of Supreme Court and the High Courts in the states as the President may deem necessary for the purpose. So CJI plus 4 other senior most judges. Article 217 says that the judges of a High Court shall be appointed by the President in consultation with the Chief Justice of India as well as the Governor of the respective state. And in case the appointment of a judge is of other than the Chief Justice of that High Court, the Chief Justice of the High Court shall also be consulted. And therefore, that resolution that we read earlier was addressed to Justice D.N. Patel. Who is Justice D.N. Patel? Justice D.N. Patel is the Chief Justice of Delhi High Court. Let's move on. So what is the biggest criticism of the collegium system? They say it works more like a club. So only the existing members of the club will get to pick who else can join their club. And that's the reason there are allegations of nepotism, favoritism in the judiciary. Okay. Let's move on. Satya is asking, are we supposed to remember all these articles we come across? No, Satya, you're not supposed to remember articles, only the ones which are important from current affairs point of view. If something was in news, you should be aware of it. There are some articles of the Constitution which we have provided you in the study material as a list of important constitutional articles. Please go through them and make sure that you remember at least those articles. So what is the process of appointment of judges? The collegium has to send its recommendations of lawyers or judges to the central government, as well as the central government will send some names to the collegium. The government investigates these names and resends the file, will send back the file to the collegium for reconsideration. While doing that, many times government will delete a few entries or remove a few names from the list. In case the collegium considers those names recommended by the government, suggestions that have been made by the central government, it resends the file to the government for final approval. So look, it is going back and forth. So first, collegium will send names to the government. Government will also suggest some names to the collegium. Then they will provide the final list to the government. Government will do the investigation, come back with names. And if they like it, if they approve it, they will send the final approved list to the government. In such a case, the government has to give its assent to the names. So government will also have a say in it. Okay. So there is one loophole in this entire system. There is no fixed time limit. There is no fixed time limit within which the government has to respond. Because of that, there is a big controversy going on in India. Justice Qureshi's name was not recommended or approved by the government. He is the second senior most judge in the High Courts of India. He was transferred to Tripura High Court. Well, as far as appointment of Chief Justice of India is concerned, process is slightly different. The retiring CJI would recommend the name of his successor, and it is now a settled proposition that the CJI would only be chosen on a seniority basis. So whoever is the next senior most judge will become the Chief Justice of India. All this is because of one controversy of 1970. What was that controversy all about? Okay. In August 1969, Justice A.N. Ray was elevated to the Supreme Court, and later on he became the Chief Justice of India. All of you might have read about Keshwanand Bharati case, the largest bench of Indian Supreme Court. How many judges were there in the Keshwanand Bharati case? How many judges were sitting in the Keshwanand Bharati bench? Let's see. Rishi responded. Arpan responded. Satya responded. 13 is the correct answer. And yes, Rishi, that's the correct answer. The decision was not a uniform or the unanimous one. It was a divided bench. Decision came in the ratio of 7:6. And Justice A.N. Ray was one of the dissenting judges. Therefore, he became favorite of the Indira Gandhi, who was Prime Minister of India. And he superseded 3 senior judges. Justice Jaishankar Manilal Selar, Justice A.N. Grover, Justice K.S. Hegde were not made Chief Justice, or unke jagah A.N. Ray became the Chief Justice. As they say, he was given only 2 hours to decide whether or not he would like to take the post. Okay. And people say that this is the blackest day in Indian democracy. Another news update is the Constitution Scheduled Caste Order Amendment Bill to 2021. Parliament has recently approved this bill. Government of Tamil Nadu had proposed certain changes, modifications in the list of scheduled castes by way of grouping 7 castes into one heading or one group. Obviously, this move is taken keeping in mind the upcoming Tamil Nadu Assembly election, जो April 1st week में होने वाले हैं. There's the list of 7 communities which have been clubbed together. This bill seeks to amend the Constitution Scheduled Caste Order of 1950. And all these 7 communities will now be considered Devendra Kula Velalars as per the new amendment. Okay. Read Article 341, which lays down the process of making changes in the list of scheduled castes. The president may, with respect to any state or union territory, and where it is a state, after consultation with the governor, by public notification, specify the caste, race or tribe or part of a group within caste, race or tribe, which shall for the purpose of this constitution be considered scheduled caste in relation to that state or that union territory. Part 2 says, Parliament may by law include or exclude from the list of scheduled caste any caste, race, tribe or part thereof. So, President has the power to declare, he has the power to specify, Parliament has power to include as well as exclude groups and subgroups from the list. Okay. Another important news is another new bill, the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Amendment Bill 2021. Lok Sabha has passed this bill by voice vote. Voice vote is another controversy we'll discuss some other day. This bill seeks to amend the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act of 1957 and further regulate the mining sector in India. 4 points which you should keep in mind. First of all, now government is allowing private companies to enter mining in the area of exploration. Right now, exploration was solely government's domain, and now even private sector with all its advanced technologies will be allowed to explore mines and minerals. Well, government is also easing the process of statutory clearance. So let's say if one person is having a lease and he wants to transfer it to some other company or person, now that is much easier than what it used to be. Another point is permitting removal of restriction on end use of minerals. तो अब end use of minerals पे restriction नहीं है. साथ ही साथ में government is enabling captive mines to sell up to 50% of their annual mineral production in open market. अब यहाँ पे 2-3 चीजें हैं जो आपको पता होनी चाहिए. For example, what is a captive mine and what are these end use restrictions? Well, the Mines and Minerals Development and Regulation Act 1957 defines a captive mine as a mine which has been reserved by the government for a particular purpose. Read it. It says, any mine other than coal, lignite and atomic minerals to be leased for a particular end use. For example, iron ore mine for a steel plant. So government can devote an entire mine for a particular function, for a particular purpose. And then the operators will have no power to sell the iron ore at any other industry or for any other use. Such mines are called captive mines. This new bill provides that no mine will be reserved for a particular end use. There is an exception. Exception has been made for atomic minerals. Atomic minerals are scarce and hence government is still holding on to them. Okay, there are few concerns regarding this new bill. First of all, the provisions empowering center to hold mine auctions in case of state fails. Generally, it is the state government which auctions the mines. If state government fails to do it within a stipulated time frame, then this new bill says that the central government can take it over from there. अगर state government ने mine को नीलाम नहीं किया, auction नहीं किया, तो central government will take over and they will do it on their behalf. Isn't this going against the spirit of federalism? India is a federal country and separation of power is something which should always be kept in mind. Privatization comes with its own risk. Private players will always try to profit here. They will try to monopolize the market, and obviously it might lead to black marketing of minerals, some of which are very scarce. So bill in its present form lacks any effective safeguard in that respect. As we know that most of these mines are located in non-urban areas, so either in jungles or remote places. So most of those places are infested with tribal population. So many tribals are still living in jungles, and hence those people would be the worst affected due to this form of privatization or marketization. When companies operate in remote areas, don't you think they will be flouting more rules? Companies are always trying to save every single pie or buck by flouting rules and regulations. Even in cities and metros they are doing it. What about remote areas or jungles? Environmental impact is another important thing which should have been kept in mind. Well, this policy is a reversal of the nationalization drive which 1960s and 70s had witnessed. For example, if you have watched Gangs of Wasseypur, there's a scene which tells us that all the coal mines were suddenly nationalized by the government, and all the private owners, like the villain of the movie, had to move on to some new businesses. So that law was the Coal Mines Nationalization Act of 1973. So earlier government was trying to nationalize everything, every industry, and now they are trying to privatize every industry. For example, just 2 days back, Nirmala Sitharaman came up with a proposal that we will allow foreign direct investment in insurance sector. Right now only 49% investment is allowed, and now the cap will be above 70%. So more than 70% foreign direct investment is allowed in insurance sector. Okay, one more point which I wanted to discuss. Before that, let me read some comments from the chat box. I think some people, okay, Brick says these unnecessary bills will help private firms. Yes, government is trying to privatize many sectors. Privatization has its own perks, its own advantages, but it comes with some restrictions or some clauses. Okay. Satya says only defense sector is remaining, and that too will be privatized soon. We are going to privatize some part or some areas in defense sector, not everything. Yes, Krish, FDI in insurance sector is now up to 74%. Defending this new proposal, Nirmala Sitharaman stated that when we allowed 49% private investment in insurance sector, private companies have already started dominating the market. More than 48% insurance is with the private companies. And government companies have a share of around 38%. Okay. Yes, LIC will be in trouble very soon. Let's move on. The Supreme Court declined a plea for CBI, or you can say independent agencies investigation in the Telangana lawyer couple murder case. This was a horrific criminal incident which was shot on tape and the clip went viral. Here's a brief background what all happened and why it happened. This couple was practicing in Telangana and they were sort of activists. They had earlier filed a PIL against the police department, some officials of the police department, for custodial death of a person named Rangayya. In a letter addressed to High Court Chief Justice, this couple had alleged that Rangayya was brought to Manthani police station as was kept under lockup for 4 days. For how many days can you keep a person in police custody without producing that person before a judicial magistrate? Can someone answer this question? Police custody is valid for how many days? Let's see. Game changer अपने दोस्तों से बात कर रहे हैं. 24 hours, Kevin is correct answer. 48 hours is incorrect, Chitra. Correct answer is 24 hours. That means only 1 day. Krish, that's correct. Kavi, Swarnim, that's incorrect. Not 14 days, just 1 day. 24 hours. Within 24 hours, a person in police custody shall be produced before a judicial magistrate, and the time that is required to travel from the police station to the magistrate's court shall be excluded, right? Then it is the magistrate who decides whether the person shall be given to police for custody of, let's say, some more time, some more days, or shall the matter, or the person shall be transferred to central jail. Alternatively, he can also grant him bail. So this is the background story. One guy, Rangayya, was died in police custody. This couple filed a PIL stating that that person was killed by police. Police tortured him, gave him custodial torture. This person died because of the injuries which he suffered in police custody. These guys were receiving many threats and complaints. They had written to the Chief Justice to grant them protection, which wasn't given on time, and they were brutally hacked to death in broad daylight. So if you see the picture, the second pic is a screenshot from the video clip. I couldn't use the clip because of copyright issues, and obviously the clip is not worth watching. Well, names of the advocates are Gattu Vaman Rao and PV Nagamani. Division bench of Justice Hema Kohli and Justice Vijayasan Reddy of Telangana High Court had taken suo motu cognizance of the murder. So there is a matter going on in Telangana High Court also. So the matter is sub judice. Okay. The Supreme Court judge, three-judge bench consisting of Justice CJI Bobre, Justice Bopanna and Justice Ramasubramanian, while hearing this PIL, which was filed by Anti-Corruption Council of India Trust, they declined to entertain the plea, stating that you should go to the State High Court with the same prayers, with the same request, as law and order is mainly state matter. So, State High Court is in much better position to provide you adequate relief. Court also pointed out that if you fail in your endeavor at state level, State High Court, then you can come to the Supreme Court. Okay. So guys, what is suo motu? We read this phrase suo motu on the previous slide. What is suo motu? Telangana High Court took suo motu cognizance. Let me read. Laksh has a question. What if a person is taken into custody on Friday? Well, let me give you a very practical advice, Laksh. Court, when we say that a person needs to be produced before a magistrate, we mean that guy who is holding the government post will be treated as the court. Court is not a room. Court is not a building. Court is the person who is exercising powers of the court. So, coming from a service class family, my dad was a cop. I have seen this happening a lot. Many a times these people were taken to the residence of the magistrate to get the work done. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so suo motu means on its own. Yes, Gauri, that's correct answer. Doctor, that's correct. Swarnim, that's the right answer. Suo motu means on self motion, on your own motion. When you do something on your own self. For example, I don't have to remind you about this live session. Most of you are without notification attending this session suo motu, on your own motion, on your own initiative. Let's start. Next question is, what is sub judice? I have used this phrase on the previous slide. Even in the Amish Devgun case, court said that the matter is sub judice, get it resolved, and then only we will look into it. Tom Aniston has responded. Chandrakanta says, with a judge, that's incomplete. That's incomplete, Chandrakanta. The matter is in court. Krish, that is also incomplete. Okay, Swarnim says matter in court. Sub judice means when a matter is pending before an appropriate court or forum. When the matter is ongoing in a proper court which has jurisdiction over that matter, then we consider such matter to be sub judice. So generally courts, higher courts will not interfere in lower judiciary's work when the trial is going on. Okay. Let's move on. So with these questions, I will quickly take you to the question answer round. We'll move on to the quiz. Well guys, I have been receiving requests that you need presentation of this session. I have been receiving these requests on WhatsApp, Telegram, social media and other pages. So this is the rule which I have applied. If you want to get PDF of this session, then you will have to share my video on your Facebook page, or if you're into Insta, then on your Insta. Then provide the link of that share to my number or my mail ID, which is kishan.singh@imsindia.com. After verifying, we are going to send your email ID or mention your mail ID along with the link. So we will confirm and we will email you the presentation, we'll email you the PDF of this session. Well guys, let's start the quiz. Go to menti.com and use code 899-27121. Go to menti.com and use code 899-27121. Riddhi says already in other court, not other court, proper court would be better answer. Already in a proper court. A court with jurisdiction, with powers to decide this matter. So is this session over after the quiz? Yes, Krish, session will be over after the quiz. Quickly, as many students are preparing for their board exam, I am trying to keep this session short and relevant. Okay guys, are all of you on Menti now? Shall we start the quiz? Go to menti.com and use code 899-27121. There are 50 plus guys concurrently watching this video and only 19 people have reached Menti, so I will have to wait for a few more seconds. Krish is there. Okay, Swarnim has a doubt. Swarnim, you can post your doubt here, or you can use the IMS Telegram channel for that purpose. Vanchika is here, Prachi is here, Vaibhav, Riddhi, Krish. Okay. So I think most of you are on Menti now, so I think we are good to go. Okay guys, आप और मैं मिलके खेलते हैं कौन बनेगा क्लैट टॉपर. First question on your screen. It's a quiz format. After each question, you will get to see leaders board. Let's start. First question on your screen. Well, please answer on Menti and not on the chat box. If I'm asking additional questions, supplementary question, those will be answered in YouTube chat. But don't spoil it for others. Please answer using Menti. First question on your screen. Answer fast to get more points. Where is Sufi Saint Moinuddin Chisti's shrine located? Your options are Delhi, Ajmer, Bareilly, Srinagar. Where is Sufi Saint Moinuddin Chisti's shrine located? Your options are Delhi, Ajmer, Bareilly, Srinagar. So when all of you have answered or when the time is up, correct answer will be displayed on the screen. Where is the Sufi Saint Moinuddin Chisti's shrine located? Your options are Delhi, Ajmer, Bareilly, Srinagar. सूफी संत मोइनुद्दीन चिश्ती की दरगाह कहां पर है? आपके ऑप्शन है दिल्ली, अजमेर, बरेली, श्रीनगर. करेक्ट आंसर इज अजमेर. ओके. अच्छा, बरेली इज ऑल्सो फेमस फॉर अ सूफी श्राइन. कैन यू नेम द फेमस सूफी सेंट whose shrine is in Bareilly? Answer in YouTube. Answer in the chat box. The Game Changer says, I've been there, it's beautiful. Well, Game Changer, I am from Ajmer Sharif. So yes, it is beautiful. My city is amazing. Aditya says, please reduce the time. Aditya, in the last quiz, I was told to increase the time limit because some people have slow internet connection. So please bear with them. Bareilly Sharif Dargah, Siddharth is the name of the Dargah. Whose shrine is it? Dhruv is asking what's the code. Dhruv, code is 899-27121. 899-27121. 9-271. I've also mentioned it in the chat box for Dhruv. Okay. श्रीनगर, बरेली शरीफ दरगाह, उनके नाम पे काफी ट्रेन चलती हैं, गाने भी हैं. Okay, I hope the video has resumed and all of you can see the leaders board. Manushi's name got removed by mistake. KNPIM is the fastest person and obviously names like this will not be tolerated, so removed. Okay, let's move on. Next question on your screen. Answer fast to get more points. Section 295A of Indian Penal Code deals with. Section 295A of Indian Penal Code deals with. Your options are hurting religious feelings of people, promoting enmity among different groups, criminal conspiracy, raising TRP. सेक्शन 295A आईपीसी किस चीज से डील करता है? धार्मिक भावनाएं भड़काना, समाज में द्वेष फैलाना, षड्यंत्र या टीआरपी बढ़ाना. नो वंशिका, you didn't miss any question. This is the second question. Yes, this is second question. So, सेक्शन 295 आईपीसी किससे डील करता है? धार्मिक भावनाएं भड़काना, समाज में द्वेष फैलाना, षड्यंत्र करना या टीआरपी बढ़ाना. Hurting religious feelings, promoting enmity, criminal conspiracy, raising TRP. Correct answer is what the majority says, hurting religious feelings. That's correct answer, guys. Let's move on. Let's check out the leaders board. Homer was the fastest one and he is still the fastest one. Okay, but Rishi is close second. Next question on your screen. Question number 3. Answer fast to get more points. Who is current Chief Justice of Delhi High Court? Who is the current Chief Justice of Delhi High Court? Your options are Dipankar Datta, Sanjeev Banerjee, Dhirubhai Narayan Bhai Patel, TBN Radhakrishnan, NV Ramanna. Dipankar Datta, Sanjeev Banerjee, Dhirubhai Narayan Bhai Patel, TBN Radhakrishnan, NV Ramanna. चलिए जल्दी से बताइए, हु इज द करंट चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ इंडिया, चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ दिल्ली हाई कोर्ट? ऑप्शन है दीपांकर दत्ता, संजीव बनर्जी, धीरूभाई नारायण भाई पटेल, टीबीएन राधाकृष्णन, एनवी रमन्ना. चैट बॉक्स में बताइए, हु इज द करंट चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट? हु इज द करंट चीफ जस्टिस ऑफ बॉम्बे हाई कोर्ट? Who is the current Chief Justice of Bombay High Court? And another additional question, who is going to be the next Chief Justice of India? Well, the question on the screen is regarding Delhi High Court Chief Justice, and answer is D.N. Patel, and that's correct. Again, majority got it right. Who is Bombay High Court Chief Justice? Answer is Dipankar Datta, that's correct. And who is going to be the next Chief Justice of India? You should be aware of this fact. Justice Bobde is retiring in April. So उनकी जगह कौन लेगा? Well, answer screen पे ही है. Correct answer is NV Ramanna. So not Chandrachud. Correct answer would be NV Ramanna. NV Ramanna most probably is going to replace Justice Bobde. Let's move on. Next question on your screen. Before that, let's check out the leaders board. Siddharth is now leading the chart. Good job, dude. Sanskriti is second. Farmers protest के supporter number 3. Okay, number 4. Laksh Lakhani number 5. Priyadarshini number 6. Priyadarshini आज पीछे हैं, पिछले एपिसोड की विनर हैं. Let's move on. Next question on your screen. Answer fast to get more points. Collegium for appointment of Supreme Court judges consists of CJI and other how many judges? Your options are 1, 2, 3 और 4. Collegium system में Supreme Court judges को अपॉइंट करने के लिए कितने जजेस होते हैं CJI के अलावा? So CJI के अलावा कितने जजेस Collegium का हिस्सा बनते हैं? What is the current practice? आपके ऑप्शन है 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Collegium for appointment of Supreme Court judges consists of CJI and game changer is repeating one option again. Okay, dude, I will check it again if that's your commitment. But the correct answer we'll find out in 7 seconds. But if there is any change, don't worry, dude, I will come back with the update. Well, as of now, the correct answer on most of the portals and official website is 4. Let's move on. Next question on your screen. Before that, let's check out the leaders board. Who was the fastest one this time? Siddharth has been beaten, and now Laksh Lakhani is second, but Siddharth, you are still maintaining your overall lead. So let's move on. Rishi was the fastest one. Next question on your screen. Who recommends name of new CJI? Who recommends name of new CJI? Your options are the President, the Prime Minister, the retiring CJI. CJI का नाम कौन recommend करता है? आपके ऑप्शन है राष्ट्रपति, प्रधानमंत्री या सेवानिवृत्त होने वाले मुख्य न्यायाधीश. Who recommends name of new CJI? President, Prime Minister or retiring CJI? Let's see. Who recommends name of new CJI? आपके ऑप्शन है President, Prime Minister, retiring CJI. There are hardly 5 seconds remaining. Yes, game changer. Even if you're giving incorrect answer, please don't do it on YouTube chat. Correct answer is retiring CJI. It was mentioned on the presentation. I hope some of you missed it out. So name will be recommended by CJI and then it will be approved by President. It will be declared by President. Okay. So it is the retiring CJI. Okay, let's move on. let's check out the leaders board. Siddharth gave incorrect answer this time, so Lakshya I think will beat him. So now we have Laksh and Priyadarshini as top 2. Devya is also in top 3. Krish was the fastest one. Let's move on. Okay, next question on your screen. Answer fast to get more points. Which amendment added 9th schedule to the constitution? Which amendment added 9th schedule to the constitution? Your options are First Amendment, 42nd Amendment, 44th Amendment. संविधान की 9वीं अधिसूची किस अमेंडमेंट से जोड़ी गई? आपके ऑप्शन है फर्स्ट, 42nd एंड 44th. पहला, 42वां या 44वां? टाइम्स अप, लेट्स सी. Correct answer is the First Amendment. Majority got it right. I did mention it on the first slide today. Let's move on. Let's check out leaders board. This question was for correction of the previous quiz. This time they were given correct answer. So Laksh is still maintaining lead. Then we have Priyadarshini. Then Vaibhav. Doctor was the fastest one. Next question on your screen. Last 3 questions, guys. Who was made CJI superseding 3 senior judges of Supreme Court? किसको CJI बनाया गया सुप्रीम कोर्ट के 3 न्यायाधीशों को छोड़कर? आपके ऑप्शन है A.N. रे, जयशंकर मनीलाल शेलाथ, A.N. ग्रोवर, K.S. हेगड़े. Who was made CJI superseding 3 senior judges of Supreme Court? Your options are A.N. रे, जयशंकर मनीलाल शेलाथ, A.N. ग्रोवर, K.S. हेगड़े. Okay, Yash has joined late. Yash, you can see on the top of the screen, you will find the code. menti.com पे जाइए. Code is 899272121. Go to menti.com and use code 899272121. Kalpana, please answer on Menti and not here. Correct answer is A.N. ray. I think today questions were slightly difficult, so I'm getting diverse options. Dissent is good for democracy, but not in MCQs. Let's move on. Let's see who is leading the chart now. Correct answer is Justice A.N. ray. Okay, let's see whether Laksh would be able to maintain his lead. Answer is yes. So Laksh is still leading. Then we have Priyadarshini, then Vaibhav, then Doctor, then Bharat. Bharat was the fastest one this time. Next question on your screen, guys. Question number 8. Let's start. Second last question. Power to include or exclude from the list of scheduled castes lies with. Power to include in or exclude from the list of scheduled castes lies with. Your options are the President, the Governor, the Parliament. Your options are the President, the Governor, the Parliament. Power to include in or exclude from the list of scheduled castes. अनुसूचित जाति की सूची से नाम जोड़ने और हटाने की पावर की ताकत किसके पास है? आपके ऑप्शन है राष्ट्रपति, राज्यपाल या संसद. प्रेसिडेंट, गवर्नर या पार्लियामेंट. लास्ट 12 seconds. Power to include or exclude from the list of scheduled castes lies with. Options are President, Governor, Parliament. If you were paying attention, you know the correct answer. 3, 2, 1, and the answer is it lies with the Parliament and not the President. President will specify and Parliament has power to include and exclude those caste groups and subgroups. Correct answer is option C. Let's move on. Let's see. काफी changes हुए होंगे leaders board में. Now Priyadarshini gave incorrect answer. Lakshya is still leading and obviously इन्होंने अपनी lead भी बढ़ा रही है. Now Lakshya is at the top. We have Vaibhav and closely followed by Doctor, then Sanskruti. Okay, was the fastest one this time. Guys, last question on your screen. Question number 9. Answer fast to get more points. Captive mines are allowed to sell up dash of their annual mineral production in open markets. As per the new bill, captive mines to sell up to dash of their annual mineral production in open market. Your options are 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%. 25%, 50%, 75%, 100%. So as per the new bill, captive mines are allowed to sell up to dash percentage of their annual mineral production in open markets. Your options are 25%, 50%, 75% and 100%. Last 10 seconds. This is the last question for the day, guys. Let's see. 3, 2, 1. Let's find out who is today's winner. Correct answer is 50%. Majority opted for the right answer, but still many people gave incorrect answer. Let's move on. Let's see the final winners. Lakshya, you are on point, but let's see. No changes. So Lakshani, congratulations, dude. You are today's leaders board winner. With this note, guys, we are going to end this session. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Do provide your feedback in the comment box and obviously in the comment section once this live stream ends. If you need to join or if you feel like joining IMS batches, contact your nearest IMS center. For all these and a lot more fun sessions, be part of the fastest growing community. You can join us on Facebook, Instagram, IMS Gets At Law, YouTube channel, LinkedIn, YouTube and Telegram. I think should be most important for you guys if you're targeting CLAT 21 or CLAT 22 or any other law entrance exam or even judicial service exam. Okay guys, so in order to get presentation or PDF of this presentation, you have to share the video on your social media platform and share the link with me on my number, or this is official number, as well as you can share it on my mail ID, that is kishan.singh@imsindia.com. Thank you so much, guys. With this note, I KP Singh signing off. Do let us know whether you like this session or not. Do you want us to make any changes? Do you want me to make it lengthier or shorter? Do you want more questions or more gyan? And guys, click on like, share and subscribe. Keep on sharing it. बांटने से ज्ञान बढ़ता है और subscribers भी. Thank you so much. Good night. Bye. Keep learning. Happy clatting.